What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is October the 3rd. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So already there seems to be a lot going on. So you had initial jobless claims come out, kind of not the best. So 225 versus 222,000, which is the forecast. So on a positive note, that might increase the likelihood again of a 50 basis point cut for the first meeting. Hasn't really changed it right now, but the futures are kind of going down because of that. As well, at the same time, you are seeing a big rotation out of China. And a lot of stocks have their individual kind of quirks that is causing some dismay, if that makes sense. But NASDAQ is down 0.22, S&P down 0.22, and Dow is down 0.45. So today seems to be a interesting day. Tomorrow, on a side note, you do have this right here. So you have the payroll, so very big consumer data point, and then the dreaded unemployment rate. So do not take that lightly. That is going to move the market like we have not seen in a very, very long time. So yeah, that will be a fun old time. But as of right now, fear and greed index has been maintaining itself at around the greed category, so 68. So in theory, people's appetite for risk is there. You can kind of see that somewhat today, but somewhat not, so kind of stay tuned. So starting off, Sofi is going down slightly, just piggybacking off of the broader market. No actual news today. They did put out news yesterday, but still no news as far as that today. 17.63% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 184.37 million shares. Shorts have been rather tame this week. I anticipate them to be very much active tomorrow, and again, dependent on the data points, you could see them try to push it very, very low, or they might finally give up and kind of return to another leg lower, as what happened right here between kind of mid-September and where we are now. As far as some support and resistance points, right now with it at 774 pre-market, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 771, definitely watch for that. That's going to be the next strong support. If not, then yeah, it could be kind of falling quite a lot. But aside from that, 839 is going to be the next strong resistance slash target. I'm looking at the one day chart as well on a side note. Moving on, Faraday. So Faraday is I have a love-hate relationship with them. I do cover them as well under this channel, and generally they've let me down, but I gotta give credit when credit is due. And this news that came out today is really pumping a lot of volume in it, and it looks like two of their executives did buy some shares. Not a lot, nothing crazy. One was for 35,000, the other one was for 18,000, if I'm seeing that right. 18,000 one round, and then 17 for that. But in total, right here. So all in all, executives are finally buying some stock, even though it's not significant dollar values, but still, I think it's the principle, and this is one thing that I've actually been calling them out for, because in September of 2023, they did state that they were going to take half their salary and buy the stock. They didn't do that. And now it looks like they want to kind of do that. So salary deduction and stock purchase agreements. So yeah, honestly, pretty good news all in all. So let me know your thoughts on that. As far as shorts, 37.26% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 4.57 million shares. It does indicate it is on the threshold list. So today should be a very interesting day. I'm not going to go over the support and resistance points with Faraday though, because it's going to be it's not really relevant for momentum plays in my opinion. NIO is going down slightly, so down 4.58% because of a Reuters article stating that the whole European tariff is back on. So kind of crazy. Very, very, very crazy. And that's one of the things on a side note that really propelled it from that 570 range to kind of that mid sixes. So yeah, you're taking that out of the mix once again, so that should be a fun old time for NIO. But 12.51% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 167.07 million shares. Shorts have actually been really returning quite a lot with given the momentum of NIO, but today I anticipate them to be fairly active. Right now with at $6.86, it is trading between this R1 and R2, so 669, strong support. Just watch for that to hold, because if not, then yeah, you're seeing the sixes sooner rather than later. And then 707 is going to be the next strong resistance slash target. Moving on, Nvidia is up 1.86%. No actual news from it itself, but I think the big thing that's really floating through the market right now is OpenAI. And so they're getting a lot of capital. So it kind of goes to show that AI is still a safe haven, if that kind of makes sense. So I think there is a rotation happening out of Chinese stocks into tech stocks. So that one might be a good play today. Again, we'll just have to wait and see. But Nvidia is not heavily shorted right now with it at 121. It is trading right below this pivot point, so 121.31. Just watch for that to be the next strong resistance slash target for it to get above. Then 116 is going to be the strong support. And I'm looking at the 4-hour chart on a side note. But so yeah, I think Nvidia is getting a little bit more attention today, and it's been kind of, I don't know, people have still been paying attention to it, but I think it's just now the secondary priority. For a good 2 quarters, everyone was looking at what Nvidia was doing on a daily basis, and that was going to dictate what happened in the broader market. So it's kind of good to lose its reliance, if that makes sense. EVgo is up 22.39% because of this. So they looks like they did receive a DOJ loan up to around 1.05 billion, and given the market cap right now is 1.19 billion, it's pretty good stuff. Very heavily shorted on a side note. So 26.69% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 26.68 million shares. And in theory, shorts have actually been returning quite a lot over the last little bit. So that 26% is rather timid. At its peak, it was at like 35. So yeah, today should be a very, very good day for any holder of this stock. Right now with it at $4.79, it is trading between this R1 and R2. So 463 and then 423 are going to be the following support levels. And then 488 and then 529 are going to be the next strong resistance slash targets. In my opinion, given the news, and I think just the difficulty of the infrastructure for EVs and the charging, yes, this is good news. Is this a reason for it to get back to this R3 right now? Not really. So it might bounce off of this R2, slightly get above it, but I can't see it staying there, especially given the fear in the market. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account. Gives you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. With that said, appreciate all of you guys watching.